How dare you disrespect the name of Vino, of the Mamba? How dare you? Thorny Switch says, grew up a Celtics fan because of my mom. Your mama from Boston? What's the name of that town, New Edition from? Roxbury? Your mama probably from Roxbury, ain't she? Where your mama from? She from Roxbury? From Al Thompson, right, Clay? That's what I'm saying. 70 would have been a loss. 81 was a win. Right. Chucktown Frank. Here we go. Chucktown Frank says, Ronnie, baby, Ricky or Mike. That is classic. Laugh my ass off. I can't say ish, but I hate Duke. How the hell you love Boston, but you hate Duke? They won in the damn same, man. Mr. Harper, the Suns were fouling at the end of the extended game of play, shaking my head. I mean, it was bootleg. It was bootleg. Right. I'm happy the young man got 70 points, but what does it really mean at the end of the day if y'all basically engineered the whole damn thing in a 10-point loss? It ain't a lot to poke your chest out about, if you ask me. From the 47 problem, I pulled for Doc Rivers when he was there. I ain't never rooted for Boston. I'm sorry. Doc was on his own. And Doc is an interesting little backstory behind Doc Rivers. So Doc Rivers played for the Knicks when the Knicks used to have their training camp in Charleston. That's the reason my brother claims that he's a Knicks fan. So my first job out of college, I've talked about this before, is I worked for Foot Action USA. And so I worked for the store in Charleston, which was in Citadel Mall. And so I only was there for a couple of months, and then I got promoted, and I moved to Virginia, and then I finally got my own store and moved to Pensacola, Florida. But those couple of months, the Knicks players used to come in the mall all the time. And so it was Anthony Mason and it was Doc Rivers, and they used to come in the store all the time looking at sneakers. Clearly they didn't need sneakers, but they used to come in as a group and just walk in the mall. And it was pretty cool. And Doc, the thing I remember about Doc is when I saw him for the first time, I was like, dang, that motherfucker's skinny. Like, those NBA players are super skinny. Like, TV makes them look bigger. But in real life, them cats are super. Even Anthony Mason was skinny. Anthony Mason, to me, I was like, damn, I thought, you see Anthony Mason on TV, you think like he like a defensive tackle or something like that. Nah, these cats are tall. I mean, clearly, they're tall. But they're just skinnier. They're much thinner than what you would believe. Like, Doc Rivers looked like to me that he probably weighed about, I don't know, 180 pounds at 6'5" or whatever he was. From Thorny Switch, no, she's not from Boston, born and raised in Georgia. I see you, Chucktown. How is she from Georgia and a Boston Celtics fan? How? I'm trying to figure out the connection. Like, most black people in America not rooting for the Boston Celtics for obvious reasons. Unless you're from Boston. So if your mama's from Georgia, I can't blame her for not being an Atlanta Hawks fan. I think that she should have been. I think if you're from a state and you have a professional team, I think it's your duty to be a fan of that team. But okay, say she's not a Hawks fan or she wasn't a Hawks fan. She just don't like to associate herself with losers. In your mama's era, I would think your mother would, but you know what? In your mama's era, the Celtics were winning all of them damn tainted titles because they were rigging the draft and all of that stuff, and they were allowing the Celtics to stash players and all of that stuff. So your mama probably was during the time in the era when they had Bill Russell, when they won like 15, 11 championships within a 12-year period. Oh, your mama's a bandwagoner. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That didn't sound right. I ain't talking about your mama. I'm just saying in the technical sense that your mama could be classified. I'm not saying the mama joke or nothing like that. I'm saying technically your mama could be classified as a bandwagoner. Thorny, Oh, here we go. Here go the answer. I guess here goes the actual answer to the point I was trying to make, or the question I was asking. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Thorny Switch says, because she recognized the greatness that is Bill Russell, Russell also spoke at her college when she was an undergrad. Okay, I get it then. I take back everything I just said. Damn! I take back everything I just said. Forget the last minute and a half of what I said. For Finance Johnny, don't forget the HC for those birds. Celtics was a black man, Casey Jones. I remember Casey Jones. And before that, they had Bill Russell, and he was the head coach, or HC is a head coach, for a while too. That's right. Bill Russell was actually, and I don't remember this, but I think Bill Russell was actually a player coach. Right. When they do that, when the last time somebody's done that? I think Jason Kidd was lightweight a player's coach before he retired. I think so. But, yeah, Bill Russell was a player's coach. He was playing, but he was actually the coach. How'd they do that? Did they give him 2 checks? From 9-0 the Wino, shaking my head too late. Yeah, I take back everything I said about your mama being a bandwagoner. From Grego, X-Squad, or how about some people follow success and don't want to cheer for known losers or continuous poor management or teams? Yeah, I hear that, and I guess to a degree, I was the same way, with the Lakers. The Lakers were successful right before they got Magic, even when they had Norm Nixon and all of those cats. They were a successful organization, and me being in South Carolina and deciding on which professional basketball team that I wanted to root for, I picked the Lakers. So I guess that makes sense. I don't want to root for no losers. Like, if you're from a state, like let's use the same example I just gave of Georgia. If you're from Georgia and, you have a professional team like the Atlanta Hawks, I think that should be your team. I do. Period. Through thick and thin. You got a professional team and you root for some team from across the way. Me being from a state without a professional team, I have the luxury of choosing whoever the hell I want. Right. That's one good thing of not having a team. It's understandable when people from South Carolina, when they root for the Dallas Cowboys. The majority of people from South Carolina are Dallas Cowboy fans. Why? Because they saw the Cowboys on TV, during that era, the 70s era, the greatness. They had a cool mascot, a cool logo, Tony Dorsett. Yeah, I get it. Same way I've been talking about over the last couple of days. If you're from South Carolina and you're my generation, most of the people that grew up around my time, they're North Carolina Tar Heels fans. They're not going to root for they would primarily root for Clemson or Carolina, I guess. But outside of that, there's a lot of Tar Heel fans from South Carolina, so I get it. Well, I just think that if you're from a state that has a team, that should be your team, period. If you're from Georgia, you should be a Falcon fan, you should be a Hawks fan, you should be a Braves fan, period. Sidney Jackson, he says, man, F that. Nobody wants to cheer for a bunch of sorry bastards regardless of their address. But sports are what's the term? They're cyclical. You may be bad for a couple of years, but hell, think about it. The Patriots were bad as hell my entire life. But if you're from the state of Massachusetts and you hung with your state team for a while, and even though they've been cheating and whatnot, but if you were a Patriots fan when they had Steve Grogan and Andre Tippett, and they were horrible pretty much every year. They did make it to the Super Bowl one year. They lost. I can't even remember who they played, probably the 49ers. But if you're a Massachusetts sports fan and you stuck with the New England Patriots through the bad times, and then when they got good, you were rewarded. Okay, but imagine if you said the same thing that you just said, Sidney Jackson, and you were a Patriots fan and they sucked, and you says, man, forget that. I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. You went and became a Dallas Cowboy fan after the 90s, okay, and the Cowboys didn't win a Super Bowl for 20-plus years, and then the Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls. Then how you feel then? Nah. These things go in stages a lot of times, man. And if you were a Patriots fan and you left them because the team sucked for many years, and then they started winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and they got Tom Brady and they got Belichick, even though they are cheating. Even though they are cheating, if you're a Patriots fan, if you're from the state of Massachusetts, man, you have been in football Shangri-La over the last 15 years. Yeah. I think if you have a pro team in your state, you got to ride or die with them. Simple as that. Simple as that. Now, there are some different situations like in Baltimore, when they got the Ravens, when they got a new team, a lot of fans in Baltimore that were Colts fans, they didn't follow the Colts to Indianapolis. So when they got a new team in Baltimore, a lot of those people were Redskins fans because of the DMV area. And so they jumped on board the Ravens. I get it. I totally understand that. If you're from South Carolina or North Carolina, once again, most of those fans, those people from those two states are Dallas Cowboy fans, to a lesser degree, Redskins and maybe a little bit of Eagles. I don't know. But number one primarily is Cowboy fans. When they got the Carolina Panthers, I think that it was acceptable for them to become fans of the Panthers. Like if I wanted to become a Panther fan outright, I could have done that. Right. I could have done that if I wanted to. I didn't. I support the Atlanta Falcons. I didn't grow up a Falcon fan, but, I'm in this state. I want good for Atlanta sports teams. Yeah, I don't believe in, because the team sucks. Like if you're from Cincinnati, you need to hold on. Yeah, it's been a long time, but if you're from Cincinnati, you need to hold on that they turn the corner one day. Just like what happened in New England. You need to hold on. Through good times and bad times, through the sweet and the sour, you need to hold on to your team, man. I really feel that way. All right, so lastly, man, the number one touchdown celebration dance of all times is the Funky Chicken, done by the great Billy White Shoes Johnson. Yeah. The end zone dance to which all others are measured. Your boy used to do the Funky Chicken in the end zone when I scored a touchdown back in 77. Yes, sir. Honorable mentions, O.J. Santiago for the Dirty Bird. A lot of people give a lot of credit to, they give credit to Jamal Anderson, but O.J. Santiago invented the Dirty Bird. Chad Johnson with the River Dance. Chad Johnson with the Hall of Fame jacket. T.O. with the popcorn. And Cam Newton with the dab. All right, so once again, your top five are T.O. with the Sharpie. Number 4, Joe Horn with the cell phone. Deion Sanders high-stepping, doing the MC Hammer dance. Number 2, the Icky Shuffle, Icky Woods. And number 1, the Great. And if you haven't seen it because you're a greenhorn, go to YouTube and search Billy White Shoes Johnson with the Funky Chicken. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
When Tupac was around, he wanted to raise a nation of thugs. But I think it's only right for me to raise a nation of bruhs. Frank Colvin.
Yeah.
Ernest Jefferson. Oscar Cooper.
And thank you so much for joining your boy. If you're new to the show, that's how we do it. All right? Shouts out once again to all of the ladies for Woman Wednesday. Damn haters. Shouts out to my man,